Namaskar. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Jampot Adda. In our episode today, we have one of the most distinguished Hindustani classical vocalists of the current times, Pandit Suman Ghosh, who has been kind enough to grace us with his presence and join the Adda from Texas. We are privileged to have Panditji with us today, and we are excited to do some gupshup with him about his journey in music, his gurus, his achievements, and much more. Disciple of the much revered legend of Hindustani classical music, late Pandit Jasraj ji, Pandit Suman Ghosh has carved a name for himself today as an internationally acclaimed vocalist, a pathfinding guru, and a visionary who has founded the Center for Indian Classical Music of Houston to spread awareness about our rich Indian classical music. Panditji spent his growing up years in Jamshedpur completing his schooling from St. Mary's High School, Sakchi High School, and Adi Tata High School. He started his musical journey under his mother Srimati Monica Ghosh and continued his training under Pandit Srikant Bakre and the eminent Pandit Gyan Prakash Ghosh for several years. Panditji performs regularly in America, Canada, Europe, and India. He has also had the privilege of performing before Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam twice in 2000 and 2011. Panditji has been recognized and awarded by many organizations for contribution in the field of Hindustani classical music. Now let's hear more from Pandit Suman Ghosh as he speaks to one of his students, Prakash Rao from Hyderabad. Prakash, an ex-student of Gulmohar School, Telco Colony, is an IT professional today and started learning music from Panditji when he lived in Houston. Over to you, Prakash.
A very warm welcome to today's Jampot Adda session. Myself Prakash Rao. A very warm welcome to the Jampot Adda session.
Thank you so very much. My my namaskar, my warm regards and greetings to all the Jamshedpurians. I should say fellow Jamshedpurians. I myself is a Jamshedpurian and all the members of this wonderful team of Jampot Adda.
It's a proud moment for me, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you. I am honored. I am truly honored. To be very precise, you get love from people. That's always a blessing. But when it comes from your own birthplace, your own town, your hometown, it has an unmatched significance. So for me, this is what it is.
And firstly, Guruji, I would like to thank you for accepting the invite at a very short notice.
जय हो आपकी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Many thanks to you for making it happen so painstakingly along with your colleagues, other colleagues in this group. I'm
Thank you,
very
Guruji.
happy to be here in this forum today. Very, very happy.
We would like to start with, we would like to hear something about you, about your Jamshedpur, your early days, and how your journey from Jamshedpur started.
Well, I was born in Jamshedpur and it was January 1967. Let me give the year and date here, okay? 6th of January, I was born. My father used to be with the Tatas, the iconic Tata group there, Tata Steel. Those days, I think it used to be called Tisco, if I remember it correctly, right? Yeah. Now it is Tata Steel.
Yes.
So they were originally from Bengal. We are from Bengal. We are Bengalis. But I grew up there. I was born there. I grew up in Jamshedpur. So for me, Jamshedpur was everything at that age especially. And you know very well, you yourself being a Jamshedpurian, that the wonderful ambience in that city.
Absolutely.
The cosmopolitan
Mini India
society. Mini India, that's true. Culturally, otherwise, in sports, everything.
Everything.
and we used to get a touch of the the tribal things also there,
Absolutely.
culture, and this, which is a very rare combination in such a
True.
advanced city.
Very true.
And I remember very fondly that you know what we see in India now, Swachh Bharat. We saw it in Jamshedpur since those days.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes. So such a proud thing. I mean, I feel so proud that I belong to a city which really was like a torchbearer in this movement since decades ago. So in many ways, another thing which you know really I remember very fondly still, that you just step out of the city and you are in the middle of the woods. You are in the middle of the you know natural surroundings. You won't have
Yes,
to go too far.
right.
So Jamshedpur was an amazing place. It is. I mean, was,
Absolutely.
I'm saying was because for me it is a you know chapter in my life which unfortunately it hasn't continued beyond a few decades.
Many
But
of us, Guruji, for that matter.
uh, yes, I'm sure. I'm sure.
So it's actually a fact, Guruji, with everybody says that once a Jamshedpurian, always a Jamshedpurian.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you. You know, maybe later you would ask me some question related to that, but let me say it now.
Sure.
One thing that used to intrigue me a lot those days during my childhood, that that being a cosmopolitan place, it had a wonderful mixture of different language speaking people,
Right.
right? Often I would find that children of my age, or rather who grew up in Jamshedpur, their Bengali would be not very clear Bengali, you know, like it would sound almost like, uh, along the borderlines of Bengali and Hindi.
Yes.
Okay. So I somehow found it not acceptable. So I always tried to keep my Bengali accent very pure. I made a sincere effort. How far I was successful, I don't know, but whenever I used to visit Bengal those days, again in my childhood, then people would ask me, "Really, you live in Bihar? Doesn't seem so. You don't sound like as if you are born there, you're brought up there." So this is one thing I have always sincerely tried to maintain, because I think again Jamshedpur gets the credit for you know for giving me that kind of awareness,
Hmm.
awaken me to the fact that there are so many languages.
So I can see you as a person who has come out of that zone of engineering or medical or the traditional field and stepped into the journey of music. So, can you please tell us how it happened and how it started with you?
I think the first and foremost factor in that whole orientation uh, it was my the support I received from my parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were like majorly instrumental behind the mindset that I developed in due course. I At a very young age I saw a very musical ambience in my family, wonderful ambience. Like people these days things have changed, not for any better though, but weekends would be meant for social time, parties, and so on, maybe movies, right?
Right.
But weekends would mean for us music. I still remember that over the weekends uh, our living room would get completely transformed into a baitak. So the space would be created for people to sit, the performers to come, or maybe the Guruji to come, maybe a house concert, or maybe a talim session, or maybe just a riyaz session. right? So since morning, and my parents both were into music. My elder sister, she lives in Bangalore. She herself is a classical artist, right? So the whole thing was like nobody had any such demand as, this is a Saturday or this is a Sunday. Oh, today I want to have that. There should be a special meal cooked for me today according to my preference. Nothing wrong in that. But everybody would be very accommodative that the minimum time should be spent in those matters, more time for music. So this is how they started encouraging us. But yes, in due course, the challenge was there, as you said very rightly, very aptly, that the atmosphere in the place where you live in, where you grow up, that affects you. So in such an atmosphere where everybody would think of a career mostly in the same industry, right? The iron and steel industry and all the related other companies there, those were there in Jamshedpur. I somehow, felt a little differently. And this is how I put it, that to be a musician, to be an artist, first one will have to think of taking a plunge.
Right.
Like I come across some children, very little children these days. If I ask them, so what do you want to be in your life? So the child answers that, I want to be this or some other profession. Why specifically this? My father has said this fetches the maximum amount of money. Right. So if you are guided by that, if your parents, your guardians, they advise you in that direction, that never pushes, that never inspires you to think of the parallel things of life, the other unusual fields. But in my family, fortunately, that wasn't there like that. And, even during the exams and all, I would study, as everybody does. My father would, he would bring the Tanpura to me by the end of the day and say, okay, you studied for the whole day, about an hour and a half of free hours now. I said, tomorrow is the exam. He said, your exam will go better. So this is how they inspired me. But yes, inspiration is one thing, but finally what you do, that
Right.
matters. These fields really require a lot of faith. So I think all put together it works.
It worked, Guruji. In true sense, it worked, and I can see with you. I would like to share a slide, small snapshot of your childhood with my fellow Jamshedpurians.
Ah,
So, Guruji, I can see the screen where you are playing tabla with Maji and performing. So, would you like to share something about this memory of yours?
my mother, she was my first guru. And not just as my first guru, but she was a person who was like truly, truly dedicated to music. I mean, I am yet to see a person who, without any specific particular aim or goal to become somebody, would commit this much or that much for a subject in a field like that. And she would do that. Everyday basis. So those days I used to learn tabla. So I used to accompany my mother occasionally, but my that phase with tabla didn't last for very long, because Jamshedpur had such an ambience. As we discussed a little while ago, there were so many people very respected people, excellent musicians, excellent uh, seniors from other fields, but true well-wishers, people who would bless you, you know, give you a lot of love, encouragement, affection. So they all would kind of always surround us. I at least have been very very blessed to fortunate to have such an ambience. So their advice kind of uh, made me switch from tabla to vocal, because I think I sang somewhere on some occasions. So they heard me. Then they told my father that, why isn't he doing music? Let him do music. I mean vocal music, singing. Let him learn. So I switched. So that was not really the end of tabla, because I still pull out the tabla and play. I think a year or two ago, Pandit Vishmohan Bhattji, the great maestro, he was at my place. So one day he was doing practice, and then he was using an electronic tabla. So I wasn't sitting there, but whenever I was passing by or just entering for a few minutes, he was kind of complaining, कि ये तबले का मजा नहीं आ रहा है. Then I said, if you don't mind, can I? And then for next couple of hours, we went ahead. I was on tabla, right? So I still play tabla. I have tremendous passion for tabla, and tabla is one subject that, I tell my disciples that I can walk 100 miles to listen to good tabla on any day.
Guruji, this is a surprise to me, and definitely when I'm visiting Houston next, I would wish to see you play tabla.
No. There are great tabla players. I'm
And
not a player at all.
one commonality, Guruji, I observed here that even Bade Guruji also switched from tabla to vocal, and I see the same thing happening. So probably something is installed between you and Bade Guruji, the relationship or the kind of beginning you both had. First starting from tabla and then switching to vocal.
That's a very good point, though. Yes. I can tell you one thing, whether one really needs to himself or herself play tabla actively, that's not really the question. The thing is, any musician should have a love, a passion for the art of tabla playing and the subject, because when you love tabla, then laydari, it automatically comes to you. Laydari, the eye for the details of the tal and the related aspects, you get to see it better. So for that, you need to have developed a passion for that subject. Tabla is one such subject. It's an integral part of our music, as you know.
Absolutely.
So like that.
Absolutely. Guruji, the second photo I see is you standing with a list of the shields and the awards and so many of them together. And we also know that at the age of 12, 12 is a very tender age, you gave a full concert. So we would like to hear something about that, and we would also request you to uh, give a small rendition of the concert you would have had in Jamshedpur, you would have given in Jamshedpur, for the fellow Jamshedpurians to just feel proud about it.
There used to be some competitions. I think these are all from there. So I would participate in those from time to time. It's a lot of wonderful memories about that from all those occasions. Yeah, sometimes I would sing pure classical, khayal, rag. Excuse me. Sometimes there would be some bhajans and all. And, these are from different stages of learning. Actually, during my days in Jamshedpur, I used to learn a lot just by listening. When I would be joining the classes, not as a student, but accompanying my parents or my sister. So those classes would go on for say 2-3 hours at a stretch. Maybe one group followed by the other one. So that entire span of time, at that age, I would be seated there and doing nothing. Those days there won't be any toys, any like electronic games and all. These days kids are very busy with that. So we didn't have any such thing. So I would be just seated there. And those discussions, those rags, the narrations, elaborations of those rags, several of those bandishes, in due course, decades later, I could see that those were, still alive. Memories of those were still alive in my mind. I know. Okay, let me share with you a wonderful story about it. Rag Jay Jayavanti is such a wonderful rag. I had heard it in those days, when I was about 7, 8 years old for the first time. Somebody learning it in the class, people performing and all, everything. But somehow I couldn't connect with the rag from the heart for very long, many years. And it happens. Sometimes my students also tell me, Guruji, I understand this rag is an exquisite rag, but somehow I cannot connect. I said, give it some time. It's not necessary for you to fall in love with a person on the very first day. Sometimes it takes time. So, and eventually it happens. So after many, many years, once I was touring with my Guruji, many decades I should say, Sangeet Martan Pandit Jasraj. So whenever I would be with him, even until his last years of life, if I were there, I would be doing the sound for him before a concert. So, and he would arrive later. So I would always go ahead, set up the sound, sing, sitting in his position, everything. After coming, he won't even check it once. He would just go for the concert. So that day,
Bade Guruji was a perfectionist for sound. Whatever, all the concerts that I've attended in Houston, and I see that he was very specific about that.
He was very specific. Yes, very specific. So somehow I was very fortunate to earn that trust from him, that once he would send me, he would be absolutely, nischint. So that day, I think it was taking a little time for him to arrive there. So by that time, the sound and all had been done. So naturally, as it happens with a musician, we started singing, and the tabla player, harmonium player, everything, they all. So I had picked up Jai Jayavanti that day. So I was singing Jai Jayavanti. By the time I had started, bonding with the rag very well. But he had never taught me, formally, neither he had heard me sing. So after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, half an hour, suddenly I noticed that, the tabla player facing my left hand side wings, he stood up. So I followed his, direction, and I found that your Bade Guruji was standing there. So I was about to stand up. He said, no. Let me say in Hindi. Right? Am I allowed to?
Absolutely, Guruji. Please keep
Achha. So he said in Hindi, अरे गाते रहिए, बजाते रहिए, गाते रहिए. मैंने कहा नहीं आप आगे. ऐसे जय जयवंती रुकना नहीं चाहिए. ऐसे जय जयवंती रुकना नहीं चाहिए. So that sentence, it assured me that okay, I am singing Jai Jayavanti properly. There is at least no complaint from his side, right? And then after I got up and we went to the green room, he kept talking about it. So this is a journey with one rag only I'm talking about. It began at the age of 7, 8 when I had heard it first. I got the first impression. Then later I myself must have tried, never liked it much, and then gradually became so fond of it. And then the guru says, yes, no problem. Like that.
Guruji, may we request uh, if you can, if we can have the privilege of hearing you Jai Jayavanti once.
Jai Jayavanti only.
We'll go forward. We will request
Acha.
more and more, but maybe.
Acha. Let me try.
Thank
Sure.
you.
दरस देता क्यों नी माँ मोरी दरस देता मोरी दरस देता क्यों नी माँ मोरी दरस देता क्यों नी माँ मोरी माँ मंदिर में तू ही विराजत मन मंदिर में तू ही विराजत परख लेत क्यों नी माँ मोरी दरस देत क्यों नी धनि रे ग म प ग म ग रे स रे नि स ध नि रे रे दरस देत प ध नि रे ग म नि द ग म रे ग म प म ग म ग रे द रे स दरस देत क्यों नी दरस देत क्यों नी Thank you.
So we would like to move forward from Jamshedpur, and I know that when you left Jamshedpur, you moved to Kolkata, and you were under the guidance of Pandit Bade Guruji Pandit Jan Prakash Ghosh ji. Can you please share some experience of your learning and his guidance for you?
It was amazing to get an opportunity to learn under him. And my father, it was all his initiative. Guruji had agreed to just meet us, me and my sister, and he had his own way of evaluating our. So he very painstakingly had trained us for very long. I trained under him for about 13 years. Extremely erudite, extremely intelligent, with a very fine sense of humor. This is a quality artists used to have. They artists do have mostly. They have a very nice sense of humor. They come up with jokes and all the time, like that. So he was very funny in many ways. But what a great person! What a great guru he was. I mean, there are sometimes I remember we would come all the way from Jamshedpur to learn under him. Those days we didn't have those messaging things, no, and only landline telephones would be there. So in one visit he would tell us, okay, come on such and such day and everything, right? Maybe meanwhile once we reconfirmed and then we would come. But the day we arrive and then he said, oh my God, I completely forgot that I had another appointment today, or I had to go for a recording or something. So then he would say, join me in the car. It's a long travel because a lot of traffic on the way. We'll have a lot of music on the way. No. So in the middle of those Calcutta traffic, different kinds of, sounds, honks and all, he would give a complete talim there on the way. And certain things he won't really always tell us why he would do that. But, with time I figured out that everything had a reason. Everything had a reason, everything. Gurus, it, that they are the masters. You only are a disciple when you have unquestionable faith in your guru.
Absolutely.
You don't question, you don't judge, you don't try to reevaluate, you don't try to later verify whether this was right or that was wrong. You just
Our
go
place
ahead.
is in the charan of the gurus.
Absolutely, that's what our tradition is. So since those days I used to feel like that, and these gurus of mine, Gyan Babu Guruji included, they gave me so much. Gyan Babu Guruji, later part of it, he got sick actually. He was due to age related issues and all. But he has blessed me a lot. He has blessed me a lot. I can tell you even now, after so many years of his passing away, almost everyday basis I sort of communicate with him. Every day I communicate with him.
Such is the relation between a guru and Shishya Guruji that it's eternal. Year 2020, Guruji, hasn't been pleasant. It's been full of challenges. One of the biggest losses to the world of music, Bade Guruji, Sangeet Martin Ji, Pandit Jasraj Ji moved to heavenly abode. Us, the Jamshedpurians, to hear from you of how you got introduced to this great person. How has been your learning experience with Bade Guruji, and if you can share some of your experiences with him.
This is again a very interesting part in my life. I knew him since a very young age. Again, during my school days, first I met him at a concert, only to figure out later that the gentleman with him, like a friend, philosopher, guide, kind of much elder than him, and also accompanying him on harmonium was my mama. My mamaji, my mother's cousin brother, he was with him. Yeah. So mamaji introduced and he blessed us and everything. And thereafter, when I went for higher studies in Kolkata, I went to Kolkata, I kept in touch, and he would do one thing, perhaps because of Mamaji only. Whenever he would come to Kolkata for concerts and all, he would inform me, through somebody, or sometimes after coming, he would call me, I'm here. So I would go and meet him, attend. And I would follow his style. I loved his style of singing, everything. But the thought, it never occurred to me that, why can't I train under him? But yes, I was very, very well under the training of Pandit Gyan Babuji those days. After some years, when he fell sick, then it was a matter of, it was a big void for me, because I needed a lot of talim. We always need to learn, still we need to learn entire life. But at that point, I was a bit clueless, directionless, because my guru was not well. Ustad Rais Khan Sahab, you may have heard of, like a legend in sitar playing.
Yes.
Rais Khan Sahab would come to Kolkata during the winters. Those years he used to come quite a lot. So I got to meet him, and we developed a very close relationship, very, very close. He would consider me as his elder son. I'm sorry. So then one day he got hold of me and he said, I know you're a trained musician, but you never sing before me. So I didn't answer really. He said, listen, silence won't help. Tomorrow you are coming along with your tanpura and singing before me. Okay? So he was a very tough person. So he made me bring my tanpura, and he used to be in Taliganj in Kolkata, South Kolkata. So he heard me, then he said, why are you wasting your time in other things? I said, I didn't get that. So those days, I was working with a Gramophone Company of India Limited. Again, a wonderful musical assignment I had. So he said, no, don't do anything else. You should do music. So seeing me silent, he asked me, what's your problem exactly? I said, this is what is my problem. My Guruji isn't well. He said, yeah, you understand. Okay, I'll take care of it. I'll solve that problem for you. Then next day he told me that, listen, I have given it a thought. I'll take you to somebody. If he accepts you as a disciple, then you are blessed. There won't be any looking back. So I didn't ask him who, when, nothing. This is the tamiz we maintain in our field. You know that, we never question the seniors. So he gave me a day. When I arrived at his place in the evening, along with his family, he took me and we went to a very famous auditorium in Kolkata, G.D. Birla Sabhagar in South Kolkata. Excuse me. So there was Gunidas Samaroh going on, very famous conference. So it seemed as if they knew that Ustadji would be coming. So they, escorted us to the audience. We sat in the front row. Ustadji was there. I think an instrumental concert was going on. After a while, he told me, he whispered to me, gently go out and just find out whether Pandit Jasraj has arrived. I even didn't know that he was supposed to be there, he was supposed to perform. Right? So I stood outside in the corridor. I asked some people, they said, no, he's yet to arrive any moment. So then he came with his entourage, everybody came. So he didn't notice me. Guruji didn't notice me. Had he noticed me, he would have definitely acknowledged. But I went in, I said, he's here. He said, okay, as this rag ends, let's leave and go there. So we went to the green room. So upon seeing him, Guruji was very happy. They were very close friends. So after the initial pleasantries, he said, "This is my elder brother, elder son, eldest son, standing here." So now I was very scared that if Guruji had recognized me, then he said, "You, I know him." Then that could have hurt Ustadji's ego probably. Yeah, I brought him and he already knows. He never told me, etc., etc. But
A tough situation.
Guruji was so, on the spot.
He immediately got the message.
He got the message. He just looked at me like this, didn't say anything. And he told, "Oh, Ustadji said that, जसराज भाई, ये मेरा बड़ा बेटा है, इन्हें आपको अपनाना पड़ेगा, और अगर वाकई आपके पास वक्त है तो हाँ कह दीजिए, वरना कहना नहीं है, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है." तो ही लुक्ड एट मी एंड ही सेड कि आपके हुक्म सराखों पे।
वाओ।
ऐसा कहा उनसे, समझे? तो उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ, एक बात है, आपको पके पकाए खाना मिलेंगे। ये बात गुरुजी से उन्होंने कहा। यू अंडरस्टैंड द मीनिंग ऑफ इट। आपको पके पकाए खाना मिलेंगे, दैट इज ही इज काइंड ऑफ सेमी कुक्ड, seasoned sort of. So after a few minutes, then Ustad ji said, "चलो बेटा अपना घर देख लो अपना." तो I went, and Guruji, the first sentence he told me is कि बेटा आते तो थे बहुत सालों से, अब पटरी पे आ गए, मतलब now you are on the right track. And that's how it began.
And that's a very big compliment, to be honest.
I mean, all blessings.
I would like to show our fellow Jamshedpurians some of your bonding with Bade Guruji.
और जैसे जैसे आप लोग गा रहे थे, मुझे मेरी स्मृति आ रही थी कि हाँ ऐसा था, मगर हमारे सुमन बाबू ने, पंडित सुमन घोष जी ने अच्छे अच्छे रास्ते दिखाए जो मैंने सोचे नहीं थे। और जब लोग कहते हैं कि शिष्य गुरु से 2 कदम आगे हो, तो भगवान अपने यहाँ जगह देता है गुरु को। शायद आपने सुना। तो बहुत खुशी हुई भजन नंद कुमारम सर्व सुख सारम सुनते। आप लोग बड़े ज़्यादा तकदीर वाले हैं कि आप तक संगीत चल कर आ गया है सुमन बाबू के रूप में।
Can you share us a special moment in Houston that you have had with him?
It's so many moments. Okay, here is a very personal moment I am sharing with you. You know, at bedtime, at night, he would be like a child. He would like to hear stories, bedtime stories. So we would have to go on building up layers after layers of those stories. So one day he was very hyper. He was just unable to sleep, and it was pretty late, midnight hours. So I was trying to calm him down by narrating one such story and, giving him some massage and all. Then finally I felt like he had fallen asleep. So I was about to get up very gently. Then he said, no, I'm still up. I'm still awake. Continue, please. Continue with your story and all. So it continued for another 15 minutes. So must be around 1 o'clock, in the early morning or late night. By the time he was actually breathing quite heavily, so I thought, okay, now he must have fallen asleep. So gently I got up. I started walking out of his room very carefully on tippy toes. I came out, and as I was heading for our living room, coming out from his room, I noticed that my wife, my daughters, they were all sitting there and they were facing me and they were laughing. So I thought they were laughing because I had a hard time. But soon I realized that he was actually walking behind me. He was walking behind me exactly like the children do. So this was our relationship. These were the times. These were the similar things. So many things. Musical, otherwise, his big-heartedness, his greatness, his love, affection, all that. None of these compliments I ever really deserved. That's how I feel. He was great.
Like we have different gharanas in India, like Lucknow gharana, Agra gharana, Mewati gharana, Banaras gharana. There are different gharanas in India. What's the speciality of Mewati gharana?
Okay. There are different gharanas traditionally, and that concept of gharana is important, has been there since very long. We give it a lot of importance, right? Now, if one says that, this gharana has all these features, all these specialities, there are. But at the end of the day, the features or the highlights of a gharana are kind of drawn or decided, I would say, by such personalities, Siddha Purush, हम जिन्हें कहते हैं, who are born in those gharanas, who are part of those gharanas. They decide the course of the gharana. That's how it has happened always, right? There are no set rules. There are no fixed features that this will continue to be the features of each gharana has taken little bit turns here and there. And the concept of gharana was born from the fact that, those days people couldn't travel. Great musicians would be, most of them would be seated in their own place, own town, own village for their entire life. So the name of that place would often feature with the gharana's name. Patiala, Rampur, Seswan, Gwalior, Jaipur, like that. Even ours, Mewati, started like that. But with time, as we see now, musicians are everywhere, all over the world. And you can see that in their singing also. All the musicians maintaining their own, exclusive patterns of their gharana, they are also adapting the nicer things from other gharanas. Now, I gave you like a peripheral view of the gharana scenario, but as you talk about Mewati gharana in particular, Mewati gharana is, more about shuddhata or purity of the notes, of the words, of the bhav, aesthetics. We believe in one thing, that is, music has to reach your heart first. Before you get convinced, or before I try to convince you about my mastery.
Absolutely.
If I have the mastery, then that would automatically
Reflect.
come into play. Yeah. So this is what I have seen from all the greats in our gharana. And the application of the voice, there is a word called karnapriya. Karnapriya, something that is soothing to your ear.
Yes.
That is a baseline in the talim in this gharana. I mean, a small incident I'll tell you. One day, Guruji was teaching us, some of us. I think he was teaching a pad, Sanskrit pad or something. So one of my fellow Guru Bandhus, wonderful singer, he suddenly came up with a taan in that. Right? Beautiful taan, but he suddenly came up. Guruji was very unhappy. He looked at him and said, Beta, गवैया हो या हजामत वाला हो, समझते हैं?
बाबर.
हाँ, गवैया हो या हजामत वाला हो, क्या ये कैसे जगह पे लगा दी? जब टाइम समय आए, when time comes then do it. अभी तो हम इसको सजा रहे थे, बना रहे थे, अब क्या इसको. So ये जो this ideal, I'm not saying this is unique to our gharana, but this is a very very important factor in our gharana, that the aesthetics of the whole thing. Now as far as you speak about Haveli Sangeet, that's actually an addition to this gharana only during your Bade Guruji's time, that to his later part of his career. There used to be a time when he won't even sing bhajans. But later he got inspired. A saint inspired him to consider adapting this, or rather reviving the Haveli Sangeet. Then he did a lot of research on the literature of Haveli Sangeet, and then he composed himself a lot, and then it became a subject by itself and become a part of our gharana in due course. The Mathura Vrindavan and all the spiritual, mainly Bhagwan Krishna related composition literature.
Most of the
So
composition.
this is how it came up. So the features of our gharana are like this, and then we take care of the mead part of the music a lot, and that involves the half tones on both sides of the main note, right? So Kan Gayaki, these are all part of our gharana. So aesthetics, finer elements, more than the rugged moves. But when that part comes, then it's there. Before it comes, we don't start it from the very word go. From the beginning, we build it up as if we are communicating with the Supreme Almighty. He would always say, our Guruji would always say, कि गाना बजाना उनके साथ बातचीत करना होता है. And all the greats in our Indian classical music have said that in some way or other. But he would follow it all the time. That's why in the concerts you must have experienced, he would always tell, turn on the lights over the audience. Because आत्मा सो परमात्मा, अगर मैं परमात्मा से बातें करना चाहता हूँ तो आप में बैठे हैं परमात्मा, पहले उनसे बातें करूँ. This is how it was.
Maybe request a small rendition from Mewati Gharana.
हाँ ना, जरूर, definitely. करारविन्देन पदारविन्दं मुखारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वटस्य पत्रस्य पुटेशयानम् बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि. श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, जिह्वे पिबस्व अमृतमेत देव. गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति, गोविंद दामोदर. गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति विक्रेतु कामाखिल गोप कन्या विक्रेतु कामाखिल गोप कन्या मुरारी पादार्पित चित वृत ही दध्यादिकं मोहवशादवोचत् गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति श्री कृष्ण राधावर गोकुलेश गोपाल गोवर्धन नाथ विष्णु श्री कृष्ण श्री कृष्ण राधावर गोकुलेश गोपाल गोवर्धन नाथ विष्णु जीवे पीवस्व अमृत में देव जिह्वे पीवस्व अमृत में देव गोविंद 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 दामोदर माधवेति गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति गोविंद गोविंद
Guruji, I just closed my eyes and I was visualizing Bade Guruji. Thank you, Guruji, for this wonderful, wonderful performance. I'm sure my fellow Jamshedpurians must be really enjoying, must be really feeling blessed by this performance.
थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू. बस आप सबका प्यार है. योर such wonderful initiative to connect me to our Jamshedpur.
Jamshedpur, Guruji, coming back to Jamshedpur, I would like you to share us your experience of your visit in the year 2006.
So 14 years ago, yes. And that was again not just visiting Jamshedpur, it was a very emotional journey for me. My mother had passed away that year.
Sorry.
Right. So I lost my ma that year, that towards the end of the year. I was in Kolkata and after the rituals and everything were over, one day your Bade Guruji, he called me. He used to call me every day at least 15-20 times those few days especially. So that after the rituals were over, he called me one day and said, "Beta, what are you doing?" I said, "Yeah, just almost over, so another few days, and how about undertaking a trip, short trip?" I said, "Where?" He said, "To Jamshedpur." So I said, "On my own?" He said, "No, I'll come. We'll go together." Okay. That much. He didn't even elaborate on what the plan was and all. I said, "When?" He said, "I'll arrive tomorrow and we'll leave the following early morning, following day." I said, "Wonderful." Then I said, "Do I have to carry anything special?" He said, नहीं, कलाकार के कपड़े तो साथ में होना ही होता है. So ठीक है. I got the hint. Okay. But then I told him that later I called him and I said, Guruji, if it is a concert, I don't think I'm in a position to sing now. I'm yet to recover. He said, no, don't worry about that. That is my problem. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. So I spoke to my father. So it had so happened that, after the cremation and all, the asthi that we have,
Yes.
we immerse it in a proper place, right? So those days we were kind of thinking about which would be the best place for her asthi visarjan, right? Somebody recommended this place, that place. When my father he was told that I was planning a trip to like Jamshedpur in this manner. He said, wow, this is God sent opportunity. I said, like? He said, yeah, she, in her life, Jamshedpur carried a very, very important place. She loved that city throughout till the last day of her life. So why don't you take it there and immerse it in the Swarnrekha river? I said, all right. So I carried. And then there we went. Next day after we arrived, next morning in the hotel, Guruji performed some puja, keeping it in front of him. He sang mantras and all. Then he said, Jao beta, ab maa ko visarjan karke aao. So I went and did that. So after that, the concert was in the evening, but during the day, he asked me, wherever you want to go, just go everywhere. I went and visited the places where we used to live, as you said just now, you do, yeah. So that's how it happened. Went all over like that. That was a very short trip. Yes.
But I know that you were staying in Beldi area. So right across the golf course, there was a Kalibadi. So
yes,
you
I remember.
that place. And do you recall something about that place, Beldi Kalibadi?
Just the wonderful ambience, especially during the Durga Puja.
Durga Puja. And the bhog. The bhog which
yes.
Kalibadi served, I don't think anywhere in Jamshedpur you would get that.
I don't know whether others would feel unhappy to hear that. But that's a very pure.
I tasted that during my childhood.
Yes. I remember very fondly the puja, the bhog there, the ambience there, the grandeur, sheer grandeur there in that puja.
It was only puja, not like a big hype of the puja. It's more concentrated on puja and the important aspects.
Right, decoration and all, and that pomp and those won't be really important. The puja itself was so wonderfully performed, and I think there were some very respected resident priests were there in that mandir, right?
Yes.
In that temple.
Chotada, I remember my parents.
I still remember. Yes, I do. Yes, Beldi Kalibadi.
Guruji, right close to your place, there was one dosa thela near the Beldi Club. I don't know whether you remember. That guy used to serve dosas, and I think for quite few years, I'm not sure at your when you used to decide that the dosa thela was there and you ever had a chance to have. But I heard that that guy makes very good dosa next to the Beldi Club area near Loyola School.
Okay, you know what must have happened that. When we moved to that area, then after I would visit home only during vacations, because by that time I had moved to Kolkata for studies. So I don't think I had an opportunity to visit those places much. But I have memories of the earlier years about certain food joints and all. I think I remember a few names also. Still.
We cannot miss food from Jamshedpur, Guruji. I'll come back to that place. We have a special section for the food. So,
yes.
Do you remember any funny incident that happened between Jamshedpur?
So many things. I mean, we had a friends group. As we all used to have. We used to have a wonderful friends group from the school days. Every evening we would gather and we would play soccer, cricket, and all those things. So there would be the annual picnic. Foggy, wintry mornings, right? Sitting in open trucks, right?
Yes.
And then arrive at the venue, and immediately the cooking starts and everything, like those unbelievable things. So we friends would go there, And all young boys, so we would be pretty adventurous in finding out more and more remote places and going there. So we tried one such place once on the banks of some river, probably Khadkai River or something. Is that the name, Khadkai and
Yeah, Khadkai.
Subarnekha?
That's like beyond Adityapur, we get Khadkai River, that side.
Yes. Then there is a
That's
point
what
where
the
these
water
two
places
rivers
are
meet
there.
also. Huh? I know.
Rivers meet, that's
So-
the river meet.
Right. Do Mahani,
No money.
right?
Right.
Okay, thanks for confirming. So we went there, and the whole day went off very, very well. And some of the villagers who we met, they said like, yeah, there are tigers also in this area, but they don't mostly show up. Rarely we get to see those. Okay, so that made us even happier that okay, we are in a real,
Even more
real remote
adventurous.
place. More adventurous. That was the age for it. In the evening, and during the winter, the sun sets, all on a sudden, as if it was about to be evening, be dark. We had packed up, and the truck suddenly broke its axle there, and it was unable to even move 1 inch from where it was.
Now it's getting really adventurous.
Became now really seriously adventurous, right? So then what to do? Because hardly it could accommodate all these boys inside that small cabin for the drivers and all. So we took a decision that some boys would leave, they would walk to the nearest place of where they can find some help and all. And few boys decided to stay back with the driver and his assistant and all. So that walk, I was sort of in charge of it or a part of it. So in complete darkness, we were walking along the forest, jungle, jo bhi kahe aap, hardly any visibility. So then we reached Adityapur.
Okay.
Adityapur, there was a company called Tayo.
Tayo, yes.
At the gate, we informed the securities that look, this is our condition. So they called the Tata Steel security people, and then they informed, I think, my father and few other parents. Then they came along with those security people with guns and torches and everything. We took up the second part of the expedition to go and pick up those boys and bring them back at that hour. So in pitch dark, we went to that same place which seemed so beautiful. दिन के वक्त उजाला है ना, बहुत खूबसूरत जगह है. At night it was scary. So we picked up those boys and all came back. So after that, our parents made us promise that we won't go for picnic anymore. But next year it happened again. But I'm very happy to share with you that even now, after so many years have passed and life has moved me away from Jamshedpur, I am in touch with my friends there. They are very nice to stay in touch with me. They are, extremely sweet to keep in touch with me, send me messages. All the time some way or other we communicate.
So I have some rapid fire questions for you, and we
On
just
food.
yes, specifically from Jamshedpur, and we would like to hear one word from you as an answer. So the first question is, what is your favorite street food from Jamshedpur?
Golgappa.
Wow. Now coming to next question. Best place for Golgappa?
There used to be a person, that is a gentleman, standing right in front of a club, very famous club, Bengal Club.
Bengal Club. Okay. Sakshi.
Yes.
Yes.
He used to stand on the road right next to, in between the bus stand.
Bus stand
and
and
the club.
Yes.
Right. He would be standing there. I've forgotten his name, unfortunately, but that was like really amazing Golgappas. I for the first time I went to this kind of confectionery store in Kolkata. They offered me this thing on a
Puchka.
proper plate. Yes, and puchka and all everything. It was very well made, but I didn't enjoy it even a bit.
Okay. Best chanachur in Jamshedpur?
Oh. There was some Fakira Chanachur.
Absolutely.
I see. Yes, I have fond memories of that Chanachur. Very good Chanachur, excellent quality.
Best South Indian food, idli dosa.
Madrasi Sanmilani.
Madrasi Samil is still there. They still serve dosas, the chutney, and the chutney is really awesome. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah, we still have that. So, you remember Madrasi Hotel, Anand?
Anand, I think I remember. Yes, yes, yes.
Best movie theater in Jamshedpur.
Oh, night show in Natraj Theatre.
During your days, Natraj was the most famous, and that's kind of a go-to theater for Jamshedpurians.
Yes, that it was. But as you named, excuse me, this Basant Talkies, that was very close to one of our homes. We used to live very close by once upon a time there. So we used to go there also. Those were the daytime shows.
Best sweets from Jamshedpur.
I remember having dahi vada at Bombay Sweet Mart. Restaurants I don't remember a lot, but there were some good sweet shops. Some Gaurang Mishtana Bhandar, Maharani.
Varanga, yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Maharani Mishtana Bhandar. I don't know whether they are still there.
And that was there in Bijapur. And Sakshi also had a couple of good sweet shops.
Yes.
We would like to, basically the Jamshedpurians would want to hear, are very interested and are eager to host you in Jamshedpur. So they would like to hear, when is it possible for you to come and grace Jamshedpur?
ये तो ऐसा है कि आप बुलाइए और हम वहाँ खड़े हो जाएंगे आके।
हम तैयार हैं।
मैं हिंदी में कह रहा हूँ कि जमशेदपुर हमें हुक्म करें, हम आपके पास आके खड़े हो जाएंगे। ये आपका अधिकार है मुझे हुक्म करना, और ये मेरा बनता है कि वहाँ आपके पास पहुँचना। कभी भी I visit India, under normal circumstances at least twice a year, sometimes thrice a year. During any such visits, I often think of going to Jamshedpur. How about planning a trip? But it has never happened like that. So, kabhi bhi aa jaunga.
I know that we have a Sadhana Parivar, a Gurukul that there in Houston, and you have a certain pedagogy of teaching. Would you like to give us a brief?
The principle I follow here is, first of all, nobody is evaluated on the basis of so-called talent to, enter this journey. Because talent is nothing but blessings. You may have carried forward some blessings from your previous births, but if not, or if yes, in either cases, you can accumulate more blessings in this particular birth and figure out how to sing, what music is, and get the joy of, immersing in music. So I never say no to anybody. That's the principle our Gurukul follows. See, encouragement can send one to the Mount Everest top. So I believe in that. The cases I'm saying, people who have literally no idea of what music is. Sometimes it has happened that on the very first day they would look around to find out where Sa is. The same people, after a few years' journey, have really sang and enthralled the audience with their music. There are several such instances. So this is one thing. The other thing is not to dilute the purity of the subject. Okay, this is 21st century and this is in America, so let us repackage it in a proper way so that people go for it. No, never. It's 20 years I have been here. I have never compromised on any such thing. Anything. So the motto is for every family to have a musical way of life. Maybe one person learns, but I encourage the others to listen to music. We create the ambience for them. We create, all sorts of activities are there. CICMH, Center for Indian Classical Music, does concerts and different things. At present, the Sangeet Samaroh is going on as a tribute to your Bade Guruji, year-long Samaroh. So things like that. But other than that also, so many activities go on to involve people, and with the ultimate aim of ensuring some kind of musical exposure. And that music is nothing but pure form of Indian classical music. Anybody can pursue any other form of music parallelly. So many of my disciples, they sing other kinds of music, otherwise film music and etc. Genres and all, different genres. So this is the bottom line. And enjoyment, but a serious enjoyment, I say. Take it as an entertainment, but a serious entertainment.
What special message would you like to convey to all the fellow Jamshedpurians?
Continue to shower your love and blessings, good wishes on me, because that is the strength I have. Nothing else I have. Nobody can have any other strength more than that. That's the first thing. And the second thing is a very humble request that life is changing. Every generation is experiencing newer elements of creating some sorts of excitement to keep them busy, to keep them preoccupied. But let's please ensure that we are choosy about what keeps us preoccupied. Let's be choosy. Let's devote our main source of energy, time, focus on things which are worthwhile. And let us encourage our next generation also to do that. That's my humble request to everybody.
Thank you, Guruji. And we always wish you very success, and all the Jamshedpurians would always pray for your success.
And my gratefulness to all of you and to Jamshedpur, and my pranam to all the elders in Jamshedpur, all the seniors, who most of them are there, many are not there, but शरीर में रहना नहीं रहना वो अलग बात है, आत्माएं तो होती हैं. I offer my pranam to everybody. जय जय हो आपकी, जय हो.
Immense gratitude to Pandit Suman Ghosh for his commitment towards spreading awareness about Hindustani classical music and its rich tradition throughout the world for the past 30 years. It was indeed a pleasure to hear him today on our Adda. Thank you to Prakash for bringing Panditji to our audience. Not many of us would have known Panditji's roots back in Jamshedpur. With that, we come to the end of another episode. We shall be back soon with another interesting Adda on COVID-19 vaccine with 3 senior doctors. Stay tuned. Till then, goodbye from us. Stay safe.